Okay, so today we're going to talk about two tabs in your notebook, or your tab book, that we haven't gotten to yet. We're going to talk about that Other Systems tab, and we're going to talk about your Homeostasis or Wellness tab. So what I want you to do right now, and whoever's in charge of this, I would ask that you pause it so that people can get it written down. Now, if you're a super fast writer and you get things done really, really quick, you can go ahead and work on your top tab book. Make sure you're not distracting other people. Make sure you're giving them time to write it down so we can move on these things. If you're a writer that takes a little bit longer, that's okay. Make sure you stay focused so we can get it down and we can talk about them. So I'm going to ask that you pause the PowerPoint right now, or the screencast, and let the kiddos get that down so that we can talk about it after. So go ahead and pause it. Now, the first one I want to talk to you about is the integumentary system. The integumentary system is everything on your body that's outside of your body. So your skin, your nails, your hair is all part of that system. This system, like all of the systems, does not work by itself. This is not a solo project here. Okay, we're not riding solo for each of these individual systems. The integumentary system works with your excretory system, which we just talked about. It works with all of your other systems, but I want to focus on that one for a second. So, your integumentary system works with your exocrine system in the sense that it takes care of sweating in your body. That's one way it does it. It does it other ways. But sweating is really important to create that homeostasis, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But it's just keeping your body stable. If you didn't sweat, your body wouldn't be able to cool down, and then all of your internal organs would have some real difficulty staying functioning. Okay? Sweating gets rid of some of the waste in your body, so you can sweat out things. That's why if you eat something really garlicky, you can kind of smell that in your sweat sometimes. It gets out that waste in your body, so those smells or any other waste products that can be gone through your pores. Okay, it also helps cool down your body. I actually had a teacher in 3rd grade who wasn't able to sweat, which sounds like a really cool thing, but it's really not. Okay, the problem with that is she didn't have the ability to cool down her body. It just didn't happen. It didn't work. None of her pores were able to function properly. So what she had to do is she had to stay in a cool environment at all times, and it had to keep her body stable because otherwise she wouldn't be able to cool herself down. So it's really important that these two systems work together. Now, I imagine that all of you have had Gatorade or Powerade before. And the way that works is it's really interesting because it replaces the electrolytes in your body that are lost through sweat. And now it's really important for your body to have that electrical charge to your muscles. And the way Gatorade works is it combines that sugar and that salt so that your body can regain those electrolytes and keep yourself hydrated and keep that water and nutrients to your muscles a little bit faster. Now, water works very similar, but it doesn't replenish those electrolytes that you lost during sweat in your integumentary system. So it's like the endocrine system and excretory and endocrine all work together. So if you ever wondered how that worked, and unfortunately, if you drink those things, you're not going to sweat orange like this lady is. Okay, your endocrine system is really important. Your endocrine system is all these glands and hormones and chemical messages that are sent through your body. Now, the important things about that is that your endocrine system is responsible for a lot of different things, not just the things that make you uncomfortable. Okay, your endocrine system is full of things that work, again, with the entire body. You've got your adrenal gland, you've got your thyroid gland, you've got reproductive glands that take care of the hormones to make your reproductive system. It all works in cohesion together. So, adrenal gland is one of those glands, and you've probably heard this before of adrenaline rushes and women being able to pick cars off their babies. That's a hormone or chemical message that's sent through the endocrine system in the adrenal gland. Okay? Adrenaline is sometimes the thing that keeps you alive. It keeps you really aware. It shoots it through your body in situations of extreme stress and allows you to be 10 times more aware, sometimes hundreds of times more aware of your surroundings and acute to the things that are going on around you, which these people would definitely need. And lots of adrenaline rushes happening right here. All of those extreme sports people, all of those things. Another one that it produces is melatonin, which makes you sleepy. No, not like the dwarf. Actually sleepy. Okay, so melatonin is produced through your endocrine system as well, and it's kind of what tells your body, hey, we've done a lot today. It's time to shut down and reboot. Okay, so it's like a computer where you need to restart it. You need to start a new program. Okay, your melatonin shuts down your body and lets it rest and recover from the day's activities. It's really important. There are other hormones that are produced through this as well, which is kind of what makes you go a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in middle school, okay, and high school. Those hormones are produced through your endocrine system, and they're really important to keep you functioning. They affect your mood. They affect how you feel. All of this is through your endocrine system and those glands that I mentioned before. The last one is your reproductive system. I'm not going to go into detail about that one, but just know that this is where your reproductive organs are, and you know what those are because you're 11 and 12 and you're not stupid. Okay? So that system is responsible for producing the ability to make new life. That is the whole purpose of the reproductive system. Just like in any other animal, the purpose is to create new life with the reproductive system. So you're creating children, or offspring is the kind of the scientific word for it. Alright, the last tab I want to talk to you about is the homeostasis tab. Now, this word should sound familiar to you. We have done a little project, Characteristics of Life, where we talked about homeostasis. So this should be a word that you've seen before. Now, I'm going to let you copy this down, so if you want to pause the presentation, get it copied down, then I'll talk about it. So go ahead and pause now if you need to. So homeostasis is the ability for your body to remain stable and working on the inside. So when things happen on the outside, your body can adjust and make sure that you stay alive and that your body doesn't go, whoa, it's 100 degrees outside. Maybe I should make sure I'm the same way. So that's one of the advantages of being a warm-blooded animal, is that our body will keep that homeostasis and not respond to our environment in such a violent way. So if you're in my classroom, I know some of you are in, this is Boxcoff's classroom, but we have a class pet, and she is a cold-blooded animal, which is different than us. We're warm-blooded. And the way she works is she responds to her environment. She doesn't have as acute of a homeostasis as we do. So when it's cold, she goes cold. Okay? And not in the, ooh, shiver sort of way. Okay? It's in the her body shuts down if it's too cold and will not work or move because she needs that heat to regulate her body temperature. What we have is a system that regulates on its own. So it responds to that environmental change. So what would happen is if it's hot outside, we sweat. Okay, so this is, again, like your excretory and your integumentary and your endocrine system all working together saying, hey, whoa, it's hot outside, and your nervous system, because it's a response to stimuli. We're going to sweat, cool our body down, keep it cool on the outside, which keeps it cool on the inside and maintains that stable temperature so I don't boil on the inside. It's also, when it's cold outside, same sort of deal. We're going to have those goosebumps and our hair is going to stand up because it's responding to that environmental change and making sure you stay good. Another way that your homeostasis works in your body is maintaining healthy blood sugar levels. Now these two aren't the only ways. There are a couple of other ways, but I'm just going to give these two as examples. It's really important that your body maintains healthy blood sugar levels because otherwise your whole body shuts down if you have too much or you have too little sugar in your body and your bloodstream. And this is what happens with people of varying diabetes, so type 1 or type 2. You have to keep those healthy blood sugar levels because just like anything, too much of it is not going to be good for you. And it's not good for your system. It starts shutting down different organs, or too little of it, same sort of deal. Okay? So, the other part of homeostasis that we want you to concentrate on in your Top 10 book is ways to stay healthy. Now, I'm not talking being really general. Don't be like, you should eat healthy. Okay, that is obvious. You've heard that before. We want you to give some specific ways. I think it's 4 on there. Correct me if I'm wrong. But 4 ways to stay healthy, specific ways to stay healthy. So, How much sleep should you get if you should get more sleep? What are some ways you can eat healthy or be healthy? So 4 specific things that we can be healthy and do every day or maintain in our lifestyle to be healthy. Okay, so some fun facts, because I know you need those as well. Maybe not for these systems, but I just thought they were kind of neat. So, your brain works in very specific ways. So if you sit and you lift your right foot off the floor, make clockwise circles, and then draw anti-clockwise or counterclockwise circles in the air with your right hand, your foot will change direction. Just because your brain has to send that message and it can't send both messages at the same time. Your reproductive system works with all of your other systems, just like anything, so that's kind of a fun fact. And your integumentary system, which is your skin, hair, nails that they talked about, 10% of your dry weight comes from bacteria, so that means that if you take 10% of your weight, so say you're 100 pounds, 10 pounds of that is bacteria, which you need. But just an interesting fact. A fingernail or toenail takes about 6 months to grow from base to tip. So if you lose that, like I lost when I was in first grade because I did something stupid, it takes 6 months for you to grow that fingernail or toenail back. So otherwise you'll just have that skin covering. Human being loses an average of 40 to 100 strands of hair a day. Girls, you probably notice this more than boys. An average human scalp has 100,000 hairs. Now, that also changes depending on what hair color you are, but you can look that up if you're interested in that sort of thing. Excretory system. Your urine, which we talked about with urine count, is 95% water, 5% bile. So if you've ever thrown up before, that stuff that's really acidy that comes out after, that's bile. And so your urine is 95% water and 5% that. Your kidneys can filter 78 liters of blood in a minute. That is insane. So think about a 2-liter bottle of soda. Think about how much that would be in your body. You can survive with 1 kidney, so there's kidney donations that you can do if necessary. So you don't need both of them. You can survive with 1. Kidney stones happen more commonly in men, so if you've heard about those, they're very, very painful. It's kind of a buildup of calcium in your kidneys. And sweating, like I told you before, removes any liquid waste from your body that doesn't get removed through urine. Immune system, fun fact. We'll talk about the immune system tomorrow, but if you are interested in writing down this fun fact, it's been proven that loneliness weakens your immune system. So having friends and significant others can increase your immunity by 60%. And so all of those systems work together like I talked about. Okay, so today, once you get finished with notes, these are the things that we want you to work on. Okay, I want you to work on any system you need to do through respiratory, because we've already talked about all those. You should have been working on those anyway. Your excretory system, we just talked about that the last 2 days with Urine Town, so you should have all the necessary things for that. You should be a pro on the excretory system. Your other systems tab, which I just talked to you about, those 3 definitions. And then your homeostasis tab. So what is homeostasis? And why, or what are some ways that we can stay healthy? How do we stay healthy? Specific ways. Now, this is work time, which means we're not talking to our friends. We're not saying, hey, what are we doing in gym today? Okay, you are focusing on this time and getting things done. Because there should be absolutely no excuse for us when we get to December 14th and we turn this in and you don't have it. Because you have time to work on it in class. So use this time wisely. Make sure you are getting things completed. You're working to the end of the hour. Okay? Use this time so you don't have hours and hours of homework. Okay? Alright guys, I will hopefully see you tomorrow if you're in Mrs. Fox's class. Hopefully she'll see you in the next few days.